Okay, everyone, listen up. So, today we are not just doing math, we are preparing for the Madras School of Economics entrance. Now, for those of you dreaming of that 5-year integrated MA, or those of you already planning your escape after the third year BA exit, listen closely. MSE is not just about supply and demand curve, it's about having a brain that can handle the raw quantitative reasoning. Okay, so this question is a classic MSc style brain tickler. It looks simple, but actually it's a trap for the unprepared. So let's dismantle it. Read the question first. Question says, suppose P is a prime number such that P minus 1 by 4 and P plus 1 by 2 are also primes. So show that P equal to 13. Okay, so let me make some space. Okay, now we are dealing with the primes, right? So in economics we love primes because they are the atoms of the arithmetic, but here we are looking at a specific structure. Now notice how we have P minus 1 by 4 and P plus 1 by 2. These are not just random fractions. If Q equal to P minus 1 by 4, then P is what? 4Q plus 1. So this is a prime in the form of 4K plus 1. Right? Now if R equal to P plus 1 by 2, then we can say P equal to 2R minus 1. Now we are looking for a prime trinity where the number itself and the two linear transformations of it are all prime. So this is basically the VIP club of the number theory. Okay. So now suppose P is our prime. Okay. Now for P minus 1 by 4 to be even, be an integer, P minus 1 must be divisible by 4. Right? So this means P must be an odd prime. Obviously, since 2 would not work, right? And specifically, that is mod 4. Okay? So possible candidates for P will be like 5, 13, 17, 29, 37, 41 and something like this. Okay, now let's define our friends. Now let A equal to P minus 1 by 4 and B equal to P plus 1 by 2. Okay, now both A and B must be prime. Must be prime, right? Now let's try P equal to 5 and A equal to 5 minus 1 by 4, that is 1, and is 1 prime? No, 1 is the lonely heart of mathematics, not prime, not composite, it's excluded. Okay, so move on. Let's try P equal to 13. Okay, so A will be what? 13 minus 1 by 4, that is 12 by 4, that is 3. Now is 3 prime? Yes. So B will be what? 13 plus 1 by 2, that is 14 by 2, that is 7. Is 7 prime? Yes. So yes, P is equal to 13 works. Okay. Now you might ask, okay, ma'am, what if there is a huge prime like say 1000003? Then that works. So let's use some modular arithmetic to shut that down. Now let's look at P in the terms of modulo 3. So if P greater than 3, then mod 3 or okay. Now Then look at B. Yes, and if P equal to 3k plus 1, then B will be, this will be 3k plus 2 by 2, right? So this does not immediately break, but wait. Look at A equal to P minus 1 by 4. If then is divisible by 3, right? Now since A equal to P minus 1 by 4 and 4 is not divisible by 3, then A must be divisible by 3. The only prime divisible by 3 is 3 itself. So A equal to 3. So P minus 1 by 4 equal to 3. So P will be 11, right? Now what if I say, just a second, mod 3, then P plus 1 is divisible by 3, and since B equal to P plus 1 by 2 and 2 is not divisible by 3, then B must be divisible by 3. So the only prime divisible by 3 is 3 itself. So B will be 3. So P plus 1 by 2 is 3. So P plus 1 is 6 and P will be 5, right? But we already checked P equal to 5 and it failed because A became 1, right? Now in entrance examination, always check the smallest cases first. Math professors are lazy. They usually pick the numbers that don't require a supercomputer to solve. Okay. Now many students forget that 1 is not prime. If you forget that, you will argue that P equal to 5 is a valid answer and lose marks faster than the Indian rupee fluctuates during a global crisis. So we have proved it by the power of modular arithmetic and the fact that 3 is the only prime divisible by 3. P equal to 13 is the only prime that fits this prime trinity. Okay. So when you see P minus 1 and P plus 1 in the same question, your brain should immediately scream difference of squares or divisibility by 3. It's a common pattern in the comparative economics examinations. Okay. And remember, in economics we assume people are rational, but in math we prove it. Okay. So this was all about this question. I hope this is clear to you. If you have any kind of doubt regarding this, you can ask me in the comment section. Okay. So we will meet at the next session with a new question of Madras School of Economics Integrated MA Economics entrance. Till then, keep learning and keep growing with only Dr. Sourav classes. Bye bye guys.